Hello and welcome to the Afrocentric Woman. I am the Afrocentric Woman and I want to share um, some social media posts with you. This is a bit of a follow-up of the email that email. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I'm in the process of I'm working and then I'm trying to record videos and get back to editing videos. I have a lot of videos in the backlog, and so that's why I just said email. But I want to. There's a video that I have posted on the channel called "Is Tiny a Toxic Bottom Bee?" And in that video, I mentioned years ago that Ti did a birthday well wish to Tiny on his Instagram. I tried to go back and find it, but I don't even remember what year it was. I don't know if it was 2017 or 2018 or even 2016. I don't remember the exact year, but when I saw that message, it just showed me that he doesn't love her. He never calls her his wife ever, hardly ever. And he always says something like some type of suffering that she has to go through in order to be worthy of him or be worthy of the relationship or whatever that they have. So I want to go through his so-called Mother's Day. Um, I want to go through his Mother's Day well wish to Tiny, and I want to show you the difference between narcissistic. Uh, I don't want to call it admiration. I don't want to call it love. I don't know what it is. It's just like a narcissistic public display of affection, I guess you could say, versus men who love their women in a very different way, in a much more genuine way, so that you can see the difference. Because when all this stuff came out about Ti with these allegations of you know, the threesomes and the dealing with very young women and alcohol and drugs and women having basically him and Tiny engaging in sexual acts when these women are too intoxicated to actually give consent. I remember talking about this very issue in the gym, and I was in the minority. I'm always in the minority every single time, especially if I advocate for Black women and girls and I'm in a Black environment. I'm oftentimes in the minority. So I'm in the minority on this issue, and I'm like, well, let's see what happens. Like, Ti is toxic. We know he's not a good dad. And everybody was like, oh, what do you mean he's not a good dad? He's a good dad. And I'm like, show me the evidence. I haven't seen it. Have you seen the show? And are you aware that he was getting his daughter's hymen checked at the doctor's office, and then came on a podcast and talked about it? Were you aware of that? Like, I just don't see Ti as a good dad. I see him as someone who's physically around every now and then. But as far as a good dad, if you're, listen, loving your wife is a something to do for your children, to allow them to see that. And that's something that Ti hasn't done. He's not able to love anybody but himself. The type of things that he instills in his boys is very toxic. And if they grow up to be like their dad, they're not going to be any good for the Black community. And then him undermining the daughters, and putting it. I don't see Ti as a good dad. I don't see that. I just think that the bar for Black fatherhood in a lot of people's eyes is very low. So all you have to do is more or less be around and more or less take every now and then take pictures with your kids. But as far as the quality of parenthood, it's not so great. I feel like the bar is low. Now the bar for motherhood is pretty high. In order to be considered a good mother, you have to, you can't half step that and earn that title. You really have to bring your A game to be a good mother. But Black fatherhood, for whatever reason, we give a lot of passes and we make a lot of concessions. And maybe it's because the majority of us don't have a good sense of what that is, because it's like, well, my dad wasn't there at all. So if this dad is around and breathing and has a pulse, and he's a great dad. You need to have more than a pulse to be a great dad. And then the whole issue of R. Kelly came up because basically what people were saying at the gym was, well, these women, got involved with T.I. and Tiny, and now they're salty because of the pandemic, and their money is running out, and they can't get hosting fees or Instagram money or whatever it was they were doing, and so now they're laying it on to T.I. And I say maybe there's a mixed bag. I mean, because even if we look at and they brought up, the people from the gym brought up the situation with uh with R. Kelly, and they're saying, oh, this is similar to the R. Kelly situation, because R. Kelly, we couldn't. Some of those women were consenting adults, and some of those women were underage, and I agree. Some of the women, like the radio host that left her son and went to go be with R. Kelly, was 30 something, Kitty, I think it was. Yeah, she was of age. She was a consenting adult to the situation. That doesn't negate the 14-year-old. That doesn't negate the other young girls who got him, Jocelyn, who got involved with him, or was it Jocelyn? Or God, what's okay? Y'all put the name in the comment section of the girl that got involved. Starts with the J, that got involved with R. Kelly when she was underage, and then the other one who ended up fighting with her at the Trump Tower when they was cleaning out the apartment. She also got involved with him when she was underage. So just because there were some consenting adults, that doesn't mean that there weren't underage girls as well. And I think the same thing goes for T.I. and Tiny. There may be of some people who were sober and who consented to engage in a threesome, but I also believe that there were also women who were under the influence who didn't have the ability to consent. And I think it's a mixed bag. And you shake it up, and the truth is going to come out eventually, what's what, and who was indeed raped, what's going on, and all the sexual depravities and perversions or whatever. And what happened that was interesting at the gym was they said, well, it doesn't matter because the girls' parents are the ones who sent them to R. Kelly, so it doesn't matter. And I'm just thinking in my head, okay, let's say that there's a black girl who's 15 years old. She has two trash parents. Her daddy is a piece of shit and her mother is a piece of shit. And you are in the village. You're in the black village who's supposed to be providing a protective hedge around this girl. She did not pick her parents. Unfortunately, both her mother and her father are both pieces of shit. They, in search of fame, money, or whatever it is that they're looking for, send their child to a pedophilic monster. So it's the girl's fault just because she happened to be born to two terrible parents? No, and I think that is the frustration that I have with the collective of Black people when it comes to talking about young girls and the quick willingness to throw Black girls away, and the quick willingness to say, see there, that's what you get. You shouldn't have been over there. That's why you got raped, or you shouldn't have disobeyed your parents. That's why you got raped, or you got abused, or you got caught up with this abusive monster. And now you got all these kids, and you're a teen mom, or you contracted an STD, or now you're traumatized, or whatever the case may be. If they don't have us, who do they have? And if they can't rely on us as the village to provide a nurturing, protective hedge, who can they rely on? Do you want to outsource this job to white people? Or do you want to outsource this job to somebody else? And if our Black girls can't get compassion from the Black community, where does that leave us as a society? I veered off on a tangent, but I I think that what I'm trying to illustrate with that is that we must grow in sophistication and understanding what is a healthy relationship. And we must make a commitment to protect Black children, period. And we must allow them to have a real childhood. We get so upset with white police officers gunning down our youth because they are not seen as children. Tamir Rice, Micaiah, they're not seen as youth, and they're shot down without a moment's thought. But guess what, Black people? the compassion and the privilege and the innocence of childhood that should be bestowed upon every single Black child, it starts with us. We're the ones who have to grant them grace because they're children, and we expect for children to make immature decisions. We should expect that. We should be the first ones to grant grace. We should be the first ones to grant compassion to our youth. So to hear these people in the gym, all of them, chime in on how who cares about the underage women that R. Kelly abused, whatever. Their parents shouldn't have let them go there, or they shouldn't have been worried about fame, or that's what they get. Wow. If that's where we are as a race, as a community, our girls are in big trouble. And if you don't understand how T.I. is a terrible husband and father, you need to get more sophisticated and educate yourself on what is a healthy relationship. I don't really get in the I remember years ago I had gotten the comments and T.I. was going off. You know, he's just a woke tip that he clout chases these different social justice issues. But for me, as someone who works in the community actually with actual human beings and with actual families, I know that T.I. is totally disingenuous. He doesn't have any real love for Black issues, about Black girls, about Black women, about healthy relationships. He doesn't have that. Because if this is what I said in the comments, and I got roasted. I got set aflame. I said, we don't need T.I. at this march. We don't need T.I. speaking up against social injustice. We don't need that. What we need T.I. to do is to be a good husband to his wife. Stop disrespecting your wife. Stop ridiculing your wife. Stop humiliating your wife. Stop humiliating your family. Stop abusing your daughters. Stop giving terrible advice to your sons. Stop philandering. That's what we need you to do, T.I. And if this is very difficult for you to grasp the concept of being a good husband and a good father, then I need you to dedicate every waking moment that you have to get this right. So you don't have time to be at the march because you need to be in therapy. You don't have time to make social media posts about Sandra Bland and all the other injustices in the world because you need to be reading books on manhood. You need to be practicing being a good husband. You need to stay focused on not slipping up and falling into a woman's vagina that's not your wife. Obviously, that needs to take all of your attention. We don't need you down to the march. No, thank you. And they're like, oh no, she's happy. If she wasn't so happy, she wouldn't. That woman is not happy. She's not happy. She's around and she's tolerating the abuse because she's accustomed to it. But I don't see a joyous woman. You show me where you see joy. You show me where you see joy flowing out of a tiny, and I'll wait. Let's look at this Instagram because this is what I want to show you. I want to show you this narcissistic Mother's Day. I want to show you this narcissistic Mother's Day greeting that T.I. gave to his forever supply. Tiny. Let's take a look at it. Y'all type in the comment section if you can't see it. Okay, so this is the picture. First of all, the first thing that drew my attention is that this is not Tiny's most flattering picture. And he always tends to do that. He always posts pictures of her that are not the most flattering. He always does that. And I just don't understand why. She literally just did a versus with SWV. I don't know if the versus was before or after Mother's Day. I don't remember, but I think that she should have had those pictures already. There's other pictures of her that she did when she was touring with, when they were doing their like reunion tour with Escape that are much better than this. This is not her most flattering picture, but he always does that. Look at what he says. Look at what he says here. He says, let me see if it's going to let me go down. Ay, Dios mío. It doesn't want to let me be great. Let me see. Okay. I know that's not what I want to do. Let me see if I can just make this big. All right, y'all let me know if you can't see. Let me pull up the chat on my let me pull up the chat on my phone because I need to focus on this screen completely so that I can actually toggle through and show you what I want you to see. So I'm going to pull up the live on here so I can see your chat. If you have absolutely any issue seeing this, then just let me know, okay? All right. So this is what T.I. says. He says, every storm runs out of rain. Every crisis runs out of pain. The universe told me all we got is us. I replied, that's all we need. It's up. Happy Mother's Day to my sexy little sugar mama at Major Girl. I love and appreciate you to no end. Enjoy your day. It's stuck 100. So the thing about narcissistic males is that they always reward you for enduring pain. So like, oh, thank you for putting up with me. Thank you for not leaving me when I cheated on you. Thank you for, living in a cardboard box when I spent our mortgage money on drugs and alcohol. Thank you for letting the car get repossessed and just taking a taxi without complaining. Thank you for taking me back after I went upside your head. Thank you for, it's always praising for enduring pain. Look at the rest of these pictures. None of these pictures are the most flattering to her. These are not her best pictures. They're not. And notice how there's no pictures of just Tiny. And if you listen back to the other video I did, I said he did the exact same thing for her birthday. So many people that particular year wished Tiny a happy birthday. And everyone who wished Tiny a happy birthday all put really good pictures of Tiny, and it was just Tiny, and they were saying wishing her happy birthday, and then the last few pictures were of them and Tiny doing something together, maybe like out and about or on a red carpet or whatever. But T.I. will never just post Tiny. He's so narcissistic. He has to be in every single picture. You see? And people don't, even in the comments, nobody gets it. They're like, oh, you love your wife so much. We've overcome many obstacles together. Oh, this is what she says. We've overcome so many obstacles together that has made us stronger 20 years later. Thank you for all the times you go out of your way to make me feel extremely loved and adored. I love you, Mr. H. Girl, overcome obstacles? Overcome obstacles? Like, no man should make you suffer for 20 years, Tiny. And me, myself, and women like me are preaching to Black women every day that the badge of honor that you're trying to get to as far as building a relationship with a family isn't your ability to endure abuse for 20 years. You don't get it, Tiny. You're not tuning in. You're not tuning into our videos. You're not coming to the sisterhood circle to learn. You are just content in your toxic, whatever you want to call it, a marriage. I don't know what the fuck you have, ma'am. But marriage, I don't know. Entanglement, y'all want to talk about Will and Jada? No, y'all got an entanglement. You're called Forever Supply, my love. And if the first thing that comes out of your mouth is we've overcome so many obstacles, this is the epitome of whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. But damn, why does being in a relationship with a Black male have to kill you though? Like, why does it have to be obstacles and struggle and pain? Why? I mean, it's only that way if you keep saying it, and if that's what you keep allowing, and that's what you keep doing. You know what I'm saying? And let's just look at the IG in general, because I'm going to show you other people's IG too. You don't see Tiny anywhere on here. You don't see Tiny anywhere on here. You see a bunch of men. You see his favorite child. Narcissists tend to like little children because narcissists are very immature, and little children worship their parents, but they tend to estrange from children as children start to kind of individuate. So it makes sense that this is kind of like his favorite child right now because she's still so small. That's it. You'll see the favorite kid, and you'll see like a bunch of pictures of him. He only promoted his wife's verses one time. That's it. He only promoted his wife's verses one time. There's no more pictures on IG of her verses. This he should have had at least 3 posts of his wife's verses, but he didn't, because I don't know what they have going on. Anyway, let's move on, because I'm going to show you DeVal. Let me show you DeVal. This is a more loving actual Mother's Day post. So this is DeVal. Look at this flattering picture of his wife. Look at this flattering picture of his wife and their children. All of the children, not just the favorite child like T.I. does. Not just the favorite child, all the children. He says, "What can I say? Motherhood looks good on you, baby. I could say you make it look easy, but I know it's not. We wearing you out. Dead ass." Now, when he says dead ass, they have a podcast called Dead Ass, and that has just been a running joke. I mean, I've been following this family for years, so they just like say dead ass. So that's why he's saying that. Happy Mother's Day, DeVal's Truth, the Ellises. Let's look at the rest of the pictures. Just his wife. Look, it's not him all front and center. DeVal is, he's showcasing his wife. He's showcasing his wife. Doing the most selfless thing that you can do, giving life to his heir. Look at this flattering, beautiful picture of his wife. Look at this flattering, beautiful picture of his wife. He took his time to find the best pictures of her. He didn't just post anything. Look at this flattering, beautiful picture of his wife. Kadeen. Look at this one. He obviously appreciates the sacrifice that she has made in giving up her body and putting her life on the line to give birth to his heirs. You can honestly see he cherishes these pregnancy moments. And look, he has an individual picture with each son. Let me go back, because each of these are different children. They all have 3 boys. And he posts, okay, this is the oldest son. Very nice picture. This is just Kadeen. This is the middle baby. Just Kadeen. They both look great. Just Kadeen. Here's Kadeen with the baby boy. They both look really wonderful. Just Kadeen. He obviously still lusts after his wife. He knows his wife is hot. Very flattering picture of his beautiful wife. And then finally, at the very end, we see a picture of DeVal. And this is just a cute little everyday behind-the-scenes family picture of Kadeen tired after being a mother all day. But do you see the big difference between T.I.'s so-called narcissistic Mother's Day, and a man who actually loves his wife? Big difference. All right, let's look at Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is an outlier. I don't even know how this man is human. I don't even know. He's like, he just doesn't even seem to be human. He's just too amazing. Is Russell even human? He's just like some type of angel sent on the earth. I don't know. Russell Wilson says, "Happy Mother's Day to my Queen Sierra. You are truly heaven sent. How you love, care, hold, protect, comfort, and so much more. We did that. And we doing it. We love you to heaven and back. Daddy, future, sissy, and win." Isn't that cute, y'all? This is a flattering picture of Sierra and their children. This is a very flattering family photo with the little baby, just the children. Isn't that cute, y'all? Sierra says, "I love you so much. The best thing is doing it with you. You're my biggest baby." Maybe sometimes we do feel like that as women. we feel like our man is like another baby. But do you see the difference? And I think this is what his mom, I love you so much. Thank you for always guiding me, loving me, caring for me, challenging me, most importantly, praying for me. We all love you so much. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. This is Russell Wilson's mother. Obviously, he has a good relationship with his mother. His mother raised him right. Does he have any brothers? I'm just curious. Or cousins or something. I don't know. I really respect Denzel Washington. I don't think that Denzel Washington actually did a Mother's Day post, but I still wanted to show his Instagram nonetheless because you see his wife is on here with him in flattering pictures. Unlike you don't really see any pictures of Tiny on T.I.'s page. Look, right here. She's right here. She's right here in flattering pictures. Goals on the road to achievement cannot be achieved without discipline and consistency. Achievement Award. Thank you for all the love and support. Denzel Washington. And I think it's what is her name? I know he ay Dios. I know he hashtagged her on one of these um Paulette. Yeah, or Pauletta. Pauletta Washington. Denzel Washington, Pauletta Washington. So his wife is very front and center on his page. I mean, she's not like taking up the entire timeline, but you would never wonder, like, is he married? If you looked at TR's page, you'd be like, is he married? Like, you wouldn't just know it off the bat, right? Okay, let's look at Morris Chestnut real quick because I'm just trying to find people that are like in like loving relationships with Black women, and it actually took me a while to get these together. So he just decided to thank his mother. This is a childhood photo of my mom, and when I was a child, our family visit relatives in the outskirts of Oklahoma. I appreciate the memories my mother created for me, like making sure she got me to Pee Wee football practice after she worked all day, driving 20 miles to and from work, making sure that I value education, went to college, helping me, yada, yada, yada. Let me see. She was the only one who believed in me when everyone else felt the odds were too great to beat. Thank you, Shirley Chestnut, my mother, to whom I am very much indebted. To all the mothers, meaning everyone who mothers anyone, you are such important guiding lights. Thank you all. Thank you all for your dedication, sacrifices, and love. You cannot be told enough how much you are appreciated. I thought that was very sweet. Obviously, men who tend to have those good relationships with their mothers, they tend to be in those longer term relationships and have a more of a respect for women. Let's take a look at Mike Hill. Mike Hill is Cynthia Bailey's husband, who seems like he really does genuinely love her. Is this one of his baby moms? Uh, some seasons may end, but many of the fruits come from those seasons are a blessing. Our daughter is just that, Tamara. Tamara, you're the main reason why. While I'm known as such a good dad, it's a role I have grown into. Thank you, God. You've always been an incredible mom and picked up the slack while I finally began to step into my manhood. I just wanted to say I appreciate you. Thank you for the amazing job you've done as a mother. Happy Mother's Day. Now, he does kind of Mike Hill does kind of acknowledge that he put Miss Tamara through the ringer, but I think that he's taking ownership by saying, I finally began to step into my manhood. So for me, that gives me an idea that Mike Hill decided somewhere along the lines, I got to stop the bullshit that I'm doing and I need to step into my manhood. And part of me stepping into my manhood means that I need to take more of an account for my daughters, for my children. And now we see the Mike Hill we see today, the man who's married to Cynthia Bailey, but he didn't start off like that. But it's that accountability piece that when men say, I must do better, and they do better, then we get to see the fruits of it. And by him, he's recognizing the mother of his child means a lot, not just the current wife. What is this, the mom? Okay. This is his mother. I don't know how to say I appreciate you enough. I don't see you as often as I'd like. I love and respect grows for you day by day. Thank you for being the woman that you are and raising me to be the man I am. Happy Mother's Day, Ma, to his mother. You know, that means a lot. Let's go over to, okay, this is the other child's mother. For those nights you stayed up super late to help Kayla Hill with her homework, or is it Khalil? Kayla? I think it's Kayla. With her homework, for the early mornings getting her to school on time, for the life lessons you bestowed on her that still carries to this day. I want you to know you are appreciated. We have a bond that will never end, and I'm thankful for that because our daughter is a blessing who keeps on giving. Happy Mother's Day, Camille. This is him wishing Happy Mother's Day to his other child's mother. Is this his mama? Love you, mama. Okay, so this is mama again. So blessed to have a wonderful wife, but that blessing is even bigger because I have a wonderful, oh, this is mama-in-law. Okay, so this is mama-in-law because I have a wonderful mother-in-law that comes with her. Thank you for doing a tremendous job raising three beautiful children. Well, he says kids, especially your oldest brat. Thank you for accepting me as I as if I were your bloom. I love you, mama. That's very sweet that he's doing that for Cynthia's mom. Okay, finally, here's to his wife. This is a beautiful picture of her, very flattering with her beautiful daughter. This is Cynthia with the girls. I think those are, yeah, so those are Mike's girls. So this is all his girls that he loves so much. His stepdaughter and his two biological daughters. Him and Cynthia, very flattering. You know, and look, Mike Hill's at the very last picture. So we start off with his wife with all the children. All of them look amazing. This is a very flattering picture for everybody. And then finally, him at the very end. Happy Mother's Day to my beautiful wife, Cynthia Bailey. The world knows how beautiful you are, and not just from the aesthetic standpoint. In fact, you are the epitome of motherly qualities. You are the most beautiful, loving, caring, and giving person I've ever known, and it's all genuine. Noelle is the beneficiary of that, and it shows because she exhibits so much of the traits that you have, from kindness, beauty to work ethic. She's got it all, and I know she acquired much of that from you. You've worked hard to ensure that she's prepared for whatever comes at her in life, and she's been able to face all the challenges head on. Also, thank you for doing the same for my two daughters and for loving them as if your blood ran in their veins. I know they appreciate it, and of course, so do I. Thank you for all that you do for our family. You're the best wife a man could ever ask for. I love you. That's a Mother's Day. That's a Mother's Day. That's a Mother's Day, wish. I would say if I had to compare, if you asked me like who loves their wife, T.I. or Mike Hill, I put my money on Mike Hill. I would say Mike Hill loves his wife. I don't know what T.I. I don't think is capable of loving anybody but himself. He's very narcissistic. And Tiny is the right one. She has the ability to endure all levels of abuse, philandering, humiliation, public scandals, to the point that she's toxic enough at this point to participate in the foolishness. Now compare that to this. Every storm runs out of rain. Every crisis runs out of pain. The universe told me all we got is us. I replied, that's all we need. It's up. Happy Mother's Day to my sexy little sugar mama. What? He never says my wife. Do you notice that? In all the in the Russell Wilson and the Mike Hill and the DeVal, do you guys see the difference? And this is the type of sophistication that you need to understand, and you need to be able to decipher when picking a mate. Because oftentimes I will do my best to start sharing. I do have some screenshots that I will share with you from online dating profiles because I want to have you ladies be up on game. You need to be able to read between the lines, because a lot of times the most valuable thing that you have is feminine energy and your time. And you can not go out on a bad date. You cannot entangle yourself with a selfish narcissistic male because oftentimes they self-expose. So if you are on online dating, a lot of times it will be front and center on their profile that they're not going to mean you any good. They're already like, they'll even say something like, I'm low maintenance and I'm looking for a low maintenance woman. I'd like to take our first date to a park or to just get some coffee, or what is another one that they do? I'm looking for a feminine woman. Like no man of means, no man that I've ever had that has invested money and stuff into me and took me out on a bunch of nice dates, they've never said, I'm looking for a feminine woman. The only males that I'm aware of that I have any experience with who says I'm, quote, looking for a feminine woman or a submissive woman, they have the intention to abuse. So yes, I will be sharing more on this channel about how to read stuff like this and understanding this is not anything that you want to get into. If a man is coming to you talking about every crisis runs out of pain and the universe is all we have and every storm out of rain and all this and that, you need to run the other way. You need to, okay, nice. You just turn around and repent and just walk the other way, because this would be a life of drama for the past 20 years. This is what these people have shared. Drama for the past 20 years. Nothing of consequence, nothing to aspire to. Nope, on Wendy Williams crying tattoo tears, on the other coast with Floyd Mayweather acting a fool. Now she's involved with a whole sex trafficking scandal. That's the type of life that you would live if you involve yourself with these narcissistic males, because they don't change. They don't get better with time. Like, look at T.I.'s doing the same stuff now. Oh yeah, he caught a charge, right? So she had to hold down the whole family while he's away in jail. Trust me, if you get yourself involved with a narcissistic male, this is the type of life that you would live. I wanted to highlight this Instagram page because narcissists never change. If you listen to my video where I ask, is Tiny a toxic bottom B? And I brought up Instagram. And this is an Instagram from years ago of him supposedly wishing her happy birthday. But it had nothing to do with her birthday. It had everything to do with him and her enduring his pain, his drama. And look at this, 2021. This is over 4 years later, and he's still on the same bullshit. Because why? Narcissistic males are very predictable and they don't change. I would expect more of this in the future. Now, sometimes they'll pander a little bit because they do listen to our videos, Umar. They do listen to our videos, and they'll kind of throw in some buzzwords. And that's another thing that you ladies need to become sophisticated about, buzzwords. I will do an entire video on buzzwords. Narcissistic males are using buzzwords like empathy and empathetic. They're using things like love language. What's your love language? What's your Myers-Briggs? They're using things like compassion as a buzzword. They're using things like alpha male as a buzzword. They're using things like feminine woman as a buzzword. They're saying things like, I'm looking for a woman to rest in her femininity. It's a buzzword. It doesn't mean anything, and there's no sincerity behind a lot of the things that these narcissistic males share. It's just the fact that they're watching our videos, they are reading the blogs, they're trying to think, they're having a hard time keeping supply, narcissistic supply, and they're having a hard time getting high quality supply, because we, the women who are the high quality supply, we, the women who are educated, we're multilingual, we have businesses, we have degrees, we are very beautiful, we are very elegant, we invest a lot of money in our appearance, we invest a lot of money in our experiences, we've invested a lot of money in our education, we are sophisticated, we are graceful, we are high grade, high quality supply. We're catching on to the narcissistic manipulative tactics, and more of us are becoming unavailable to them. Yes, they can get ratchet females, but they don't want ratchet females. You see, they get bored with ratchet females very fast. The pick-me's and the mammies and the ratchet ones, they have access to them. Those females are available to them for their heart's desire, but they want us. So instead of actually investing and actually changing and becoming more human and having more of a range of human experience, They're saying, well, let me just learn some buzzwords. I'll say rest in femininity, jumble, 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 word salad. I'm an alpha male, word salad, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't mean anything. What's your love language? Blah, blah, blah. Doesn't mean anything. A bunch of word salad. I believe the world would be better with empathy. And then you're like, oh my God, if you're not sophisticated, oh my God, he's so evolved. Ooh, yeah, like I finally found a good one. Let me give it up to him. Let me just, fall in line and let him love bomb me. And then boom, the mask slips. And you realize all that was bullshit. That was just a bunch of mumbo jumbo and word salad and buzzwords, but you done already got caught up with this narcissistic male. So no, 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 not in my camp, not over here. We're sophisticated these days. We know how to read through the bullshit. We're not going to let you sell us shit and call it sugar. Oh no, not over here, not in this sector, not in this particular cadre of Black women, not in this cohort of Black women. No. We are much more sophisticated. Our vetting process is much more detailed than just listening to your word salads. Oh no, because I will have to see, where are you spending money, sir? Where are you investing your money? Are you consistent? Do you tell the truth? Do you have integrity? Are you an honor? Do you live an honorable life? Do you have a track record of women who've dealt with you who are intact? This is something my godmother always told me. Look at the women around the man. Is his baby mama downtrodden, abused, and left into the gutter? Are his children neglected? Are all his girlfriends scorned? And he wants to feed you the story, oh, well, they're just all crazy. It's interesting that you've had 8 crazy girlfriends. That's fascinating. And it's interesting that of all these supposedly 8 crazy girlfriends, that you're the only common denominator. So what is it? Are you making them crazy? Are you only attracted to crazy women? Or is the only thing quality enough that you can get is a crazy woman? You're going to have to explain this to me. Because you're not going to sit up here and come to me and tell me, oh, well, randomly, these 8 scorned women that I have this whole harem of flying monkey, like toxic women, and I'm the angel and I'm the good one. And I just don't know how this happened. No, 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 no. I don't believe it. Sorry. No. The women who you've left their life, you should have built them up more than you took away. If we look at Mike Hill's women that he's honoring and doing what he's supposed to do for them. These women look great. These are Mike Hill's ex-women. He doesn't have, these women are high quality looking women. And the mama and the mother-in-law, the girls, look at the girls. So no, your women, the women that you've left behind should be high quality, or else it's a bad reflection on you. And you're not about to sit up here and convince me otherwise. No. So that's all I have for you, lovely ladies. That's what I wanted to share. I wanted to share with you this message because Black women, we're getting better. We're getting more sophisticated. Our vetting is going through the roof. We reject struggle love. We reject a life of pain. We reject any offering of a life of misery. No, thank you. Not even if it's in the name of, quote, Black love. That ain't the type of Black love I want. I'll pass. And we are all collectively passing on this type of bullshit. No amount of money, no amount of cars and jewelry or anything that T.I. may or may not have is worth this life. I will pass. Because there are men who have means, who have money, who don't come with the narcissistic bullshit and drama. You have just listened to the Afrocentric Woman. Thank you for liking this video and for sharing it and for subscribing. I look forward to reading your comments below. Peace.